No, we don't believe that. If you have the original, which came with Musa alayhi salam, he wrote it down. Do you know he wrote it? Bring me his handwriting, I'm ready to believe it. I'm ready. Dawood alayhi salam, he recited beautiful poetry in his language of Hebrew. Bring it, the original. And they don't know which ones are which. I have the Bible. I know it says right in, they don't know which came from. They said some could come maybe from David, some maybe from Suleiman, and some even said maybe it could be older, like Abraham's time, or something newer from other people. They're not really sure. It's what it says in the Bible. The one I have at home, it says that. Okay. So I will say that's very nice, but I'm not saying this is from Allah. Especially it's in English. Make sense?
Right.
We believe in what was sent down, yes. We believe in what is there which is preserved, yes. But what we really believe in, no doubt in, is what is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is something fi lawhim mahfuz, which is the book of Allah. And Quran came from the book of Allah. Got it? And by the way, Quran doesn't mean book. Quran means recitation. But the word Bible in Arabic is kitab, and we believe that the kitab came from Allah. But listen to this. The word Bible means book, exactly, Koine Greek, book. And the word Bible is not in the Bible, nowhere. The Bible is not in Bible, but the word kitab or Bible is many times in the Quran. Yes. So I guess we believe in it even more than whoever wrote the Bible. Allah Alam. Let's go to the next one.
What type of knowledge must one possess to give dawah?
We're back to the dawah thing. Let's skip that. I'm going to come. That's what we're going to end with. Let's go to the next one.
Is staying out too late a sin in Islam, even if no haram is taking place?
Is staying out too late. Anytime you do anything that's too much, it's not good in Islam. Yeah, you said too much. If you said eating too much is haram, baby. You didn't know that? If you eat too much, haram. Don't look at me. I know. I'm working on that. How am I going to do that? I go to you guys and you always say, eat. What can I do? Haram, brother. But it's wrong. Anything that's in excess in Islam can be haram. I didn't say it all. I said could be haram. Why? Because everything in Islam is balance. Balance. You can go out, yes, and you can stay home. But you don't stay home all the time and you don't go out all the time. So if you said it's too much, then it's haram. Or it's working on haram. So don't do it. Got it? Oh, and by the way, remember what Sheikh said himself. Even when we're talking about marriage, it's to get balance. It's to get balance. Otherwise it's too much. If it's too much, bad news. At least maybe it's makruh. Allahu A'lam. Good question. Thank you.
Next, 17-year-old boy thinks that it is too early to pray 5 times a day. That's 3 years too late. And he will be a good Muslim when he gets old. What do you want to say to such a Muslim boy?
Is such a Muslim boy here tonight? Is such a Muslim boy brave enough to stand up in front of me and say that tonight? I think that answered that question. Let us consider. Do you want to be a Muslim? Because if you didn't want to be a Muslim, this is one subject. But if you want to be a Muslim, you want to believe in Allah, you want to go to Jannah, then you must obey Allah, otherwise you're not following His religion. It's not your religion. It's not my religion. It belongs to Allah. This is Allah's religion, and He doesn't even allow Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to make up something in the religion. Clearly, you could read Surah number 66 at Tahrim, and read what Allah said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam about even making something haram like honey, and it's not haram. And even when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam turned away from somebody who asked him a question, a blind man, Surah Abasa, Allah doesn't let anybody make up the religion. He tells you what's the religion and you don't want to do it, it means you don't follow His religion. But if you do it, then you're doing what Allah wants you to do. Then you are doing aslama, and you're becoming a mu'aslam, and this means you're doing Islam, because it's all from the same. Surrender, submission, obedience to Allah. Do you obey Allah, or do you obey nafsi? Huh? You obey your nafs, your ego, your desires, because if you obey your desires, we will call you Abdul Nafs. Because you're a slave to your desire, and you'll never be successful. Do what you want, because you can't be a Muslim and you don't obey Allah. And Allah ordered believers to iqam as-salah, establish salah. Yes? Can somebody be a Muslim? He said, I don't want to make salah. Okay. You have to establish salah. When? As soon as you're old enough to understand what is salah, you know the value of this, you can figure things out, it's time to start praying. The Prophet ﷺ said, let them start praying when they're 7. Huh? And he used the word darba, when they become 10. Put the pressure on them. Huh? Well, in America you can't say darba exactly translation because people get the wrong idea. But it means put the pressure on them and get them in place. Huh? Yeah. Set forth an example for them. How about that? Yeah, you could say that. Set forth an example for them. Darba. I'm taking this from Surah Ibrahim. Alam tara kayfa daraba Allahu mathala. Huh? Did you know how Allah set forth a parable for them? So, set forth a parable for them. Get them praying. At how old? 10. Now, there's exceptions. There's something in Islam, ruqsa, which is like concession for exceptions to the rule. Like, for instance, do you know that if you don't have any food to eat at all, you're going to die? You can eat pork, right? You have to stay alive. Right? So if the boy is 17 years old, but he's really not there, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he's a little slow. Maybe doesn't know what end is up. Needs a little bit of help getting dressed in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Doesn't know a difference between boys and girls, things like that. Okay, in this case, he doesn't have to pray yet. Okay? And we'll put a sign on the back of him, retarded. Okay? And that people understand why he doesn't do salah. So if the boy would like to come up here, we'll put that sign on you now. Hello? No? I thought so. Okay, let's move on.
Next question. Is it okay to buy a house from a bank or rent if the person has a large family and have a hard time finding rent?
Oh,
I think they meant.
Okay, that's easy. Is it haram or halal to buy a house from a bank? If you want to buy a house from a bank, it's perfectly okay. Pay cash. Banks get a loan on the house and somebody doesn't pay them, so they take the house away from the person because they bought it on credit, which is haram, and then they have the house, and if you want to buy it and you have the cash, you can buy it, and that's halal. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Is there any question mark on that? Haram is the stupid one who bought it on credit and couldn't pay for it. Now the bank wants to sell it because they took it away from him. Banks don't sell houses unless they take it away from some fool who bought it on credit and thought he could get away with it, and he lost because Allah doesn't like that. And now if you got the cash, you can go buy it. Now about renting a house, it's perfectly legal, you can do that. But for the Muslim who thinks that Muslims have to own land in America to get control over here so that we can be the next Khalifa, then you need a mental enema. Okay?
Okay. What exactly is hijab and what exactly needs to be covered?
Go ahead, you're doing a wonderful job.
Actually, hijab, which is referred to in the Quran, Allahu A'lam, was not even an article of clothing. It was a curtain. But people began to use the word in a generic way to denote the clothing that became required for women to wear. Actually, the Quran doesn't refer to